But anyway, that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where he got some kind of orthopedic shoe, but it squeaked like a basketball player everywhere he went. That's what these are like.
Mm.
Everywhere I walk, it's like it sounds like I'm in
Ring,
basketball
ring.
practice. Yeah.
You see the video of the guy talking about a chicken sandwich? And it was like you said the other day, somebody that over enunciates their S's. And one of the comments said that it sounds like a basketball game. I mean, it was just incessant. You know, I had one of those chicken sandwiches, and it surely was good. Like that story I was telling you about at the Waffle House. We were on vacation with my wife's family, and they kept telling me how good the smothered, covered, and scattered hash browns were. And so we all went. I mean, there was 8 of us maybe, and everybody got the scattered, smothered, and covered. But of course, our waitress had a speech impediment, and she said, "You got the scattled, smothered, and covered." But she didn't just say everybody got scattled, smothered, and covered. She was like, "You got scattled, smothered, and covered."
Yeah, because
got scattled,
they
smothered, and
repeat
covered.
the order back to each person.
Oh yeah. I was like, "Man, you can just say everyone got scattled, smothered, and
Yeah,
covered."
raise your hand. if
Yeah.
you got-
I'm saying it one time.
uh,
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
We could do the what was it? The internet roulette.
Oh shit! I didn't start the video. I should do that.
We learned early on to try to get some kind of game plan together, and of course here we are with no game plan whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know. What's
Can,
been going on? It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Have you seen that Netflix documentary about the girl who faked her pregnancy and then cut the baby out of some?
I've got to say, I just started it because I saw the preview. So they give you enough.
Alert.
No, they give you enough information to know.
Yeah.
And I watched probably almost the whole first episode. Aren't there episodes?
No, it's just
That's a whole. Okay,
yeah.
well then I guess it's pretty long. I watched the beginning of it, so I haven't seen the full story. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting.
It's riveting. It is. My brother had seen it, and he started it at my parents' house, and we usually don't really watch too much TV together other than like YouTube clips and things like that. But I stayed for the whole thing, and because it was that good. And it was really funny. At one point, I made this joke, and I don't think my mom really cared for it, but they interviewed one of her friends from an old friend group, and the friend said, "Yes, she really loves attention." And I'm like, what a redundant sentence. You already said she. We've got it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you said she. We know she likes attention.
Yeah, it is redundant.
At the end of the documentary, my niece said, "I'd like to see a documentary on this documentary." Because, I mean, how could somebody, I wouldn't say that they were completely oblivious, but the guy that she was dating, I mean, you got to think she's wearing a fake stomach, a fake pregnancy belt, which I don't even know why they make those other than for movies and things like that. And well, she said she wanted to see a documentary on the documentary. How could somebody fall for that? And my brother had a pretty good take. He said, well, she sought that guy out.
Yeah.
Like somebody that would be completely, he was one of those very stoic, hard-working.
Right. Farm boy guy.
Farm boy.
Like, I mean, he hunted pigs. I saw the beginning of it, so at least I know that. But so by the time she was pregnant, he was already kind of sick of her.
Oh, yeah.
And he just sort of just didn't deal with it.
And she had 2 previous kids that she didn't take care of. And she had her tubes tied, so there was no way that she could be pregnant.
Right.
And so she left her old friend group who knew all this and went just far enough that nobody knew that much about her, that would know that she was faking a pregnancy. It was almost as if she thought that was her only way of keeping him is to trap him by having a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she was sensing that he was kind of realizing things aren't right. And that was like the, I'll get him with this one is the sense I got.
Yeah. And it's like, if you didn't do all that stuff, everybody liked you, but it's all the lying and manipulating
Did she block her old friends from, because she was doing all of this in social media and everything?
I don't think she blocked them. She just, we've all known liars like that, and you see them post all the time, and you're thinking, who do you think you're fooling?
Yeah.
But in the end, spoiler alert, her boyfriend is sat down in the interrogation room, and the police tell him, your girlfriend is under arrest. She's murdered somebody and cut the baby out. He just pretty much was like, dang, I should have listened to my parents. And that was you know what I mean? That's the kind of guy that was just completely oblivious, one that's just stoic.
And I did see early on the mother, his mother was like, there's real red flags. Like she, you know, she sensed it.
But she fooled him for a while.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing about the money too, I'm sure drug all that along, because he's probably thinking, oh, you know, well, this is just a bonus, you know, and maybe I'll put up with a little extra, you know.
Yeah. But the thing is I think she had a pretty good personality. But like I said, it's all the stuff that all the lying and manipulating that she did to keep the guy. If you just didn't do that, he would like you for who you are. But you're going to lie about the money to keep him. Well, if you didn't do that, you wouldn't run him off, and lie about the baby to keep him.
And then to save it, more lies on more lies.
It's also crazy how manipulators are always terrible at manipulating.
Right.
They have this myopic view of their lie, and like, for instance, she had this paperwork that said she was pregnant, but completely looked over the fact that it was dated 2016.
Yeah, it's like they convince themselves that the lie is true so much that those little details shouldn't matter to everyone else. You know what I mean? Yeah. They overlook the fact that people are going to notice this because they convince themselves so much that it's true. Ugh.
I picked up on that pretty early when she was talking about having different lawyers and all these different companies and all these different names of people who didn't even exist.
Yeah, the paperwork for they bought a house or something for the loan.
What are you thinking? How could you? Like I said, we've both known people like that, and they're just terrible at their lies. They're like, this sounds great. I'm going to move on this. And then you think, but it's just this one little point that sells
you just can't.
But all this other that shows that it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But they can't do it.
No.
They can't keep it together.
Convince you that that is not important.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a fun watch.
Yeah, I'm going to have to finish it.
It's like my brother said, Netflix was like, hold my beer. What have you been up to?
Interesting. Is there anything interesting?
Well, you had a gig the other night, and fortunately, it was a later gig, and my gig was an early gig, so I was glad I was able to get done with it and get down there and hear 30 to 45 minutes. It sounded great, man.
Yeah,
great
I didn't see
musicianship.
I didn't see you come in. Appreciate that. I didn't see you come in. I didn't know you were there. Yeah, no, that was fun. It was a good crowd. Like I said, it's the first time I've run sound and everything at the same time, and trying to run a camera and everything. It was like chaos in my head the whole time.
You got a bunch of new gear too.
Yeah, a bunch of new gear that I had not used before, so it was makes for a little more stress, but it was good. It's a good time.
It sounded great. So it was a great buy.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it. Those other, it was time to do some upgrades.
It was funny. We stuck around, and I kind of like that Bukowski quote you told me. It's like alcohol gives you energy that you don't have.
Yeah.
And so
I think that was William S. Burroughs, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
but yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was kind of feeling that. So we were helping you tear down, me and a mutual friend that we have.
Right.
And I thought it was so funny. We had lifted something and we were both talking about like, man, it sucks getting old. And he just said, man, my dick don't work. I was like, could you say that any louder?
Somehow he veered right into that.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. And people were turning their heads. I was like, I don't think everybody heard you. If you want to say that again a little louder. But I told him, it may be that you're low on testosterone. I'm sure you've seen it too, that they've done tests on 20-year-old young men, and that their testosterone levels are that of a 70-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's because of dish soap or scented hand soap and cologne, washing detergent,
right,
and all of
just
these,
all the things that we're exposed to, matter that they are
microplastics, endocrine disruptors.
The average testosterone level for men is like way lower. I don't know the numbers, but I've heard those studies from like the average testosterone level in the 60s to now is like 100 points different or something like that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Of course, getting older, I've felt a lot of fatigue lately, and I went and had mine checked. I had some kind of leg issue, but I was like, while I'm here, let's just run a panel.
Right.
And surprisingly, my testosterone was okay. I thought for sure that the nurse was going to come in and say, well, ma'am, we got your results back.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I had them check mine. Mine wasn't low enough for them to do anything, but
I always thought that you had to inject it, but I was talking with a relative who is on testosterone, and they were saying that they have a cream. I was like, aren't you worried?
Testosterone cream.
Testosterone. And that's one thing our friend, he just couldn't take. And I'm like, dude, I'm dead serious. You don't have to have an injection. You can just I think you put the cream on your back or your shoulder or something. But I was.
Or wherever.
Yeah, okay. Which kind of makes me wonder now that you say that, if it would have any beneficial
side effects, beneficial side effects.
Just have hair growing down your shaft or a patch of hair on your back. But apparently it's much cleaner nowadays. Because I was saying, out of all my shortcomings, I don't want to start losing my hair any faster than it's falling out. And the relative that I was speaking to was like, no, it's not like that anymore. It's so much cleaner, and I'll be on it for the rest of my life. But I would like to see some better results from the gym. Sometimes I exercise and I feel great, and then sometimes I just feel completely deflated. I'm like,
just like rubbing it on your face. What happened? Yeah, I haven't had any kind of testosterone. I mean, you get, like, sometimes when you're sick, you get those steroids, or they put steroids like in the shots they give you.
Is that the same thing?
I don't think so.
Like when you have strep and you're taking.
Right, like when you have respiratory.
You just want to work out as hard as you can for that
but
week
you
or two.
Still like feel, you know what I mean? Like it just kind of rejuvenates your whole body. Like it still increases. I don't know what the difference is, but
maybe
there's
I should just
benefits to
sick.
That too. Yeah, it's like I'm sick again.
So let's see what else. I saw He-Man. Or Masters of the Universe.
I really do want to see that.
It was a lot of fun.
Was Skeletor just awesome in it?
I loved him. The one critique that I could say is I missed the nasally, but they had the good laugh in there. It was funny. It was very Marvel-ish. You could tell they used the same formula.
Yeah, that's good.
But man, the one critique about the movie is they just have to stuff the feminist agenda. Like He-Man is, and I did like, of course, you have to have the character arc where he develops, especially in the first movie, but it was just, he was such a bumbling, which I still enjoyed it, but he was such a bumbling idiot through so much of it.
Did She-Ra hold his hand and help him through all the...
Oh yeah. And she wasn't She-Ra yet, but she was this. See, her dad was Duncan, which they race swapped. Mm-hmm. So it was like a white girl with a black dad, which didn't really take me out of it. I was fine with that, especially with, what's his name, Ellis Elba. I love anything that he's in. You can race swap him with whoever. I'm happy with it.
Right.
He was in The Office. Ellis Alba. Anyways, the black guy that they replaced Duncan
Oh,
with,
okay, yeah, yeah. I
or
know
that
you're
was
talking about.
Duncan.
Yeah, I got you.
He was a great leader. And then, of course, there was the fall of whatever that place is called, Eternia. And then he had an arc kind of like that where he was a bumbling, drunken idiot. And I do like the fact that he had PTSD and they just made it where like he's pissing on himself and he's just a complete idiot. And it was just a little too much where his daughter, she was just a little harsh on him, just constantly telling him to be quiet. And of course, and I don't have a problem with strong female leads. You have Sarah Connor and
Right. But
in the Alien franchise.
But why does it have to be at the expense of some bumbling male?
Yeah, that and they're just infallible. Just
right.
can do no wrong. Characters are so much more interesting when they are flawed.
Right.
Like the whole Walter White and Sopranos and
yeah, where it feels realistic, you know.
Yeah. What do they call that? Mary Sue, where they're just, like I said, infallible. They can do no wrong.
Do no wrong.
They're constantly scolding the male protagonist.
The Superman effect, where if there was no kryptonite for super, that was one of my things I never liked about Superman because it's too much. Like, come on.
Too strong.
Yeah. Like he can just do everything.
Right.
Like, come on. You know, all superheroes, the good ones, have some kind of. I mean, he had kryptonite, but they don't even make kryptonite on Earth.
Yeah, he doesn't wince when he's lifting a building.
Right. Yeah, speed of light. We can, X-ray vision, bulletproof.
Yeah.
Super strength, everything. It's like, come on.
I believe that was not a Jewish character, but I believe the writers of that, there's some kind of backstory or meaning that the Jewish people feel like an alien within these communities where they go live and almost have to hide their identity. And
right.
And I believe that's why Seinfeld always had the Superman characters in his apartment and something like that. I definitely don't know enough about it to speak on it, but I believe there is a little backstory on that.
Yeah. Well, what was that rabbi who recently, I think it was on Fox News, where he said that as a Jew, he feels like he's the human in the Planet of the Apes. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Literally said that on national television.
What was he thinking?
I don't know, but
Roseanne got canceled for that.
Yeah.
Was he just? Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, I forget the context of it, but it was he was just, I mean, they were talking about like anti-Semitism, and he made that reference, where you feel like, you're the human, you're not doing anything wrong, but you're just surrounded by these animals.
Wow.
Like,
man.
It's a little too close to home, man.
Yeah. I did see where I believe it was an Israeli guy that recently said that based on the Iran deal, that America needs another Pearl Harbor or 9/11 to remind them who their allies are. Wow, dude, that's pretty bold.
Yeah, and it's already it's not like it's something that people haven't already been kind of talking about just because it feels like, if that was ever a real thing, now is a time that it would, you know what I mean? And then you come out and say something.
Even if it's a baseless conspiracy theory, some people subscribe to that. Now's not the time to.
Yeah, it is not the environment to be mentioning that.
Yeah, to reinforce a narrative.
Yeah, you're just going to set fires with people.
Yeah, you're not winning anybody over by saying that.
Mm-mm.
Of course, I don't think he was talking to us when he said it. Surely not. Surely he wasn't trying to win the American people over. Right. Speaking of Superman, are you a DC guy or a Marvel guy?
When I was a kid, I kind of liked the DC. I love Batman,
Me too.
But yeah, Marvel just won the whole thing later. Like,
yeah.
I became more of a Marvel fan when the Marvel started coming out with the movies and everything.
When did Marvel finally grab you? At what point?
Well, I was always a Spider-Man fan when I was a kid.
Me too.
But I never got into the other, like Thor and all that kind of stuff. But the Thor
Hulk.
movies.
You watched Hulk as a kid.
Oh, I was definitely a Hulk. I did like Hulk. Yeah, definitely. But like Thor, I never liked Thor. But the Thor movies were great.
Yeah.
From the very beginning. I totally flipped on Thor.
For me, it was kind of like The Office. I didn't watch The Office until 10 years after it was off the air. I didn't care for the quick cuts or I guess you would call it the talking head portion, the interview portion. And the same scenario, I was doing some work around the house or something and didn't want to watch a show or a movie that I really liked. So I was like, I'm going to put this on in the background. And then it became one of my favorite shows. And then the same thing with, I believe it was, what was it? I believe it was the one before Endgame, Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
Where everybody turns to dust. That's when it won me over. And then I went back and started watching all of them, and man, so much fun.
Yeah, that one was good because I mean I love the ones where they bring them all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
Because what was it on the DC side? They had what was it, Justice League or whatever?
Man, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get into it.
Well, I'm talking about back, like I'm older, so like the old cartoon of Justice League.
Oh
DC, where Wonder Woman had the glass, the invisible jet, you know, and they were all together, you know.
I watched that. Did you watch the old Spider-Man that was just, it was great back in the day because there weren't
the show?
The show.
Oh, yeah.
It was like terrible costumes, and it was almost like
just running down
Red
an alleyway,
West.
70s style in a
Red West Batman, but it was Spider-Man. And then, of course, Captain America in that old Spider. Oh, my God, that was terrible. He had like a big-ass motorcycle helmet on.
I don't even remember
You think they'd have a budget to
get
a little bit closer.
Do a little better job. A plastic shield.
Speaking of Batman, have you seen, I believe it was in Ireland, where they had a vigilante recently?
Really?
Oh, yeah, and dude's ripped. But he's gone for good. I'm like, you think you would have, if you wanted to be a vigilante, you think you would maybe wear a mask and continue.
Especially nowadays, you can't go anywhere without a camera. So what did he do? He got arrested for like.
Now, I don't know if he just went stabbing random people, and I wouldn't suggest that, but I think he went to places where there were people where he knew that they were
stuff going on.
As Will Banks would say, no goodigans. And he just started kicking doors down and attacking people. And a lot of the stuff that's going on. I know I sent you the video of the guy straddling, cutting the face off of that poor deaf guy.
Oh, yeah.
Man. It's like, do you want vigilantism? Because this is how you get it.
Yeah.
And, of course, the riots that are going on over there, or that were going on.
In Ireland? Or I don't know.
What about the kid that was stabbed and then the police put him in handcuffs for an hour as he bleeds out on the ground?
Jesus.
And then they take the perpetrator and his brother out to eat. Like, basically, they attack this kid, I don't think with any provocation, and stab the kid. Then they call they're trying to get ahead of it. And then they call the police and say, he said something racist to me. And the police get there. The kid's laying on the ground. And the guy just says, what was he? A Sikh? Yeah. A Sikh guy was like, this guy said something racist to me. And the kid's laying on the ground. They handcuff him. And he said, I think I've been stabbed. And the police officer said, I don't think you have, mate. Well, they took the two brothers out to eat. And while the two brothers were in the back seat, the brother of the guy who did the stabbing said in their language in the cop car, so we're going to go with this whole racist narrative? And the dude says, yeah. And then I think they sit there for a second. He goes, hope they don't have cameras in here because then our our story has
whole
gone
story.
Yeah.
Shot. I hadn't seen that with the riots, but I know Conor McGregor is. When he talking about running for office or something in Ireland, like he's been,
really?
Yeah, he's been real outspoken about what's going on in Ireland. I didn't know about the riots, but a lot of it has to do with that and the crime and how they're losing their culture, and
it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, to say diversity is our strength, I saw Owen Benjamin. He's very entertaining, very funny. And I saw an interview that he had done with Tucker Carlson, and he hit the nail on the head. He said, yeah, diversity is great. Like, for instance, MMA, like you can, mixed martial arts. You have American boxing mixed with Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And when those come together, when you're working together, you end up with a better product.
Superior.
But when it's just based on skin color, and then you have a Sudanese guy who is, doesn't know how to do anything.
Right.
He's not an electrician or a plumber or is even in the right mind to be a cashier at a gas station. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
And that's the whole narrative. It's just skin color. It's like, I thought that was the opposite of the point.
Yeah. To me, it comes down to values, right? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You live in a society that has certain values and norms, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you just throw those things out, just to accommodate people who don't care about those values, that's not what diversity's meant to do,
No.
It shouldn't be the point anyway.
Then you have people who don't want to assimilate or care anything about the culture. And I think you would want to preserve their culture and preserve American westernized culture, but they just want to convolute everything until it's just this big mutt. For instance, I grew up with two of my best buds were Muslim, and I loved going to their house and having Mediterranean food and them teaching me how to eat with my hands. But at the same time, I don't want to open Christmas gifts with them on Christmas morning and then eat Christmas dinner with my hands at my grandmother's. It's like, I love
right.
Experiencing their culture, but to convolute it and put it all together, it just, you lose the quality of both.
And it's natural too. I mean, when people immigrated here hundreds of years ago, they naturally found neighborhoods where they grouped together,
self-segregate.
Yeah. And it was to be able to preserve that, and then over time, there was a lot of conflict and, you know what I mean? Racism.
But the ingenuity, you bring, it comes together. And
came together, but the people still had their culture, and you also assimilated to the same societal values, That's the point.
I love going to Chinatown, but I don't want paper walls in my house.
Right. Exactly.
And you know what? I picked
Japan is beautiful, but
yep.
I'm not going to eat on the floor.
I can't even cross my legs anymore.
Exactly.
Not that flexible. But yeah, I have picked up not wearing shoes in the house. I have sandals at the door.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah. Because that is great, especially in my profession. I'll be in a bar or a restaurant, and of course, in the men's room, there's piss on the floor. And I just think about that when I go home. I'm like, no, sir, I'm not walking through my house with this.
Yeah. Walk into Walmart, gas station, doctor's office. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't, I don't have that rule really, but this area down here, I always tell everybody you might as well, this is public. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because so many people are in and out of here,
and then Jason,
upstairs,
you told me he was on the floor, stretching his back out, and you're like, man, I don't know if you want to be down
I'm
there.
not sure if that's the best idea. You wouldn't do that in a gas station, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm picky about the rest of the house.
Oh yeah. What we got next?
I don't know.
I think we're doing really good.
Well, speaking of all that and diversity, have you been watching any of this World Cup stuff?
I haven't seen. I've seen very little.
So obviously the World Cup's here in the United States, and it's because there's so many teams, they spread it out all over the country. So one of my favorite things to watch on social media right now is these people from all over the world that are just coming here and coming to America. They've never been here. Thousands and thousands of them, right?
Were they pleasantly surprised?
Yes, that's the thing. The whole, like, they're posting on social media like, holy shit, we thought America was just a complete shithole, And then we get here, and like the Scotland team, okay, they were in Boston, so they put them in groups and they play like 3 games over a period of a week or whatever. So they're here for at least that long, even if they don't advance. So there's like thousands of people from Scotland. They're all over Boston. They drank like all the bars dry. There's a particular type of beer, I think, in Scotland called tartan, and they call them the Tartan Army because because I guess some of the bars and stuff here carry that particular kind of beer. Drank all, like the bars were like having to shut down because they're like, we don't have any more. And these dudes are just, and they're like bagpipes, and they're like going through the parks. And
that is awesome.
The Japanese team, it's become a tradition. They do this at all the World Cups. They hand out blue bags to all of the Japanese fans that are there, and they clean up the whole stadium after. When the game's over, all the Japanese fans go around with these bags and pick up all the trash. And the Japanese team, the players, went after the game, went up in the stands and got the bags, and they were up there with their fans cleaning everything.
Wow.
And there's interviews of like these guys, like the guy that, like, I guess works in one of the public parks in Boston, and the Scottish fans were there having like this huge party and playing bagpipes and drums and all this stuff. And he said, I walked out here, he said, it's perfectly clean. He said, they pick up everything. It's like, the Norway team does this thing where they're like, they were in New York, they were in Central Park, and they're like doing some kind of a chant. And then it turns into like where they're rowing a boat, and it gets faster. They hit a drum and whoo, and the whole crowd, whoo, whoo, like they're rowing a boat. It's crazy. And then all these people are posting because they're traveling around, they're eating food, they're going to the Waffle House, and
just taking it all in.
Yeah, they're like, there's air conditioning. They're like, everywhere you go, there's air conditioning. It's just like they're free refills. You go to a restaurant in Europe and they give you a little glass of water,
and there's ice.
And yeah, we have ice, free refills. This one guy was drinking Coke, and he was like, I'm gonna have another. He's like, you're going to be diabetic. And he's like, I don't care. It's free. He drank like 3 huge things of Coke.
Ooh. And they're all getting along. There's no brawls.
Yeah. Like, you don't hear of any, nonsense. I mean, I'm sure not everything's perfect, but it's just funny just watching how when you just bring people like that are normal people, and they just mingle with normal people in America, it's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
You have to consider the disparity between some of the people that come here, and there's just no solidarity whatsoever. And then you look at the World Cup, like you're saying, and everybody's getting along and really enjoying the diversity.
Yeah. And just soaking it up and just having, just whole positive, aspect to the whole thing. Yeah. It's, I guess I started liking some of the stuff that I saw, and so now my whole feed's just full of all this stuff, but I like it.
I had some South African gentlemen at a gig the other night.
You mentioned that, and I was going to ask you, I wonder if they were traveling, because South Africa is in the World Cup.
Oh, wow. I don't think they were, but man, we really hit it off. And when I left, I was just like, it almost felt like the day after Christmas. I was like, man, I'm never going to see those guys again. Like it was just so cool hanging out with those guys and them talking about their culture. And, I'm usually a blabbermouth, but I just kept having to like catch myself and go, shut up and listen and learn and just ask questions and take it all in. And
you
they
just
were
don't
so
get to
interesting.
meet people from different places like that, especially around here. I mean, if you're living in a bigger city, you would, but.
And with all the differences, we also had even more in common. Right. And, and asking about all the stuff that goes on over there. Like, for instance, one of the things that they said was Nelson Mandela. Mm-hmm. They said, we came here and couldn't believe that the American people look at him as...
as like this historical figure, you know, really.
Like a great guy. And they were saying how he had bombed, I believe, allegedly, so I don't get in trouble if I don't know the rules, but that he had bombed daycare centers and that he was just an awful tyrant. He said from where we come from, he's basically like Hitler, and then we come here and then everybody just loves him.
Has this positive... and well, also that's what this whole World Cup thing makes me think of, because it makes you realize just how much we are manipulated, mm-hmm. By the media, and we don't have a way to know things without someone telling us, and they know that, so they absolutely just twist everything. It's like you really can't trust anything you've ever been taught.
They've been taught to hate us, and that this is such a horrible place. And I have seen videos, not necessarily of people coming in from the World Cup, but people who have visited, and they're like, this is so amazing. Mm-hmm. You stop and people want to talk to you, and you get to know these people, and it's just so amazing. We were going from point A to point B and probably stopped and talked to 10 people, and we hit it off. And it's kind of what we're told about Russia. Yeah. Like in Russia, some of the architecture and their Christian history, and like their subways, I believe, are this beautiful cobblestone and chandeliers. Like we don't have that here, but we're told just to basically hate each other and that they're the enemy. And the elites are just hating it right now that so many people from there and from here
are making these connections and realizing, like, we've really been just sold a bunch of bullshit mm-hmm. to make us hate each other.
Yeah, let this crazy Sudanese guy in with malaria and everything else, who's what a detriment,
right?
Just that adds no value,
to society.
And then but hate these people over here who you have so much in common with.
Yep. Yeah, it's very true.
When is the other shoe going to drop? When are we going to,
I don't know.
When is it going to sink in with everybody?
I don't know. Like, you would think that the internet and all this connectivity would be the thing that would end it, right? Everybody's able to communicate and to see, but they're finding ways to stop that too.
Yeah.
And to, no, we're going to take that over. Don't let them communicate with each other. Let us feed them the shit we want them through the internet.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing people together, it's like they just used it as another way to continue to feed us bullshit.
Well, in the UK, and I believe it's coming here, they're passing a law that kids under 16 will not be able to have access to the internet. But what about YouTube? I've learned so many of these kids, you can learn anything on YouTube, and they're not going to allow them on YouTube. And we know they don't give a damn about the kids. With do something about child trafficking. Don't kick kids off of YouTube. Keep them from going to porn sites.
Yeah, find a way to filter it out. I mean, TikTok's a perfect example. I mean, yes, China's way far more controlling than we are, but they find a way to give the content on TikTok to their children
where it's educational.
It's in a positive way. And then they just give us the slop and let us just do whatever. And, like, I'm very much a freedom of speech, and but when it's that much of a detriment to society, there's got to be some guardrails, man. Yeah. Like using something like YouTube, TikTok as an educational thing to where it's a positive, that's great. This statistic about 20% of girls between a certain age in America have an OnlyFans.
Oh my God.
20%. That's 1 in every 5 girls, women in their early 20s. I forget it, like from 21 to 27 or 8 or something like that. 1 in 5. Imagine that. That's like a whole generation just sort of just cratered.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that that's okay.
No. And you're right. You're absolutely right. If China can do it, we can do it.
Yeah, we could do it within reason, where it doesn't have to, every little regulation doesn't have to be that's on our free speech. We live in a country of thousands and thousands of laws. Every day we have to follow the rules. If the rules are a positive, I just don't get it.
They don't care about the kids. There's, like you said, there's many other things that we could do. We could ban OnlyFans. It's obviously just degradation and disgusting, and it's leading to the fall of the West. Like, end that. Don't make it where kids can't go on YouTube and learn how to work on a carburetor.
Right. Yeah.
Or a project for school.
Yeah, or learn some skill they could maybe turn into a business or whatever. There's a million ways you could make it positive, but I don't know.
That's not what it's about. It's not.
No, it's about the money. I mean, they at one point they talked about stopping pornographic material on OnlyFans, and it completely tanked. It would have just gone away. So they said, okay, fine. They brought it back, and they haven't done any regulation on it. And so there you go.
Didn't they, Tate Reeves, didn't he ban pornography in Mississippi so that you're not able to look at it without a VPN or something?
I think a lot of states in the United States.
I wouldn't know. I don't look at it.
Yeah. I haven't tried.
I've seen it before.
But I don't know. Are they still in business? But yeah, I think a lot of states are starting to do that in the United States, where
if they can do that, why not?
Why not be able to somehow regulate OnlyFans? I don't know. But it's, you're not going to know the real cost of it until, at some point, the next generation of young women will be like, that is ridiculous. You ruined your life at 19, and I'm not doing that. And maybe they'll backlash, but
they're going to wait until it's 1 in 5. And then when it gets that bad,
when we get to 25%, maybe that's when we'll back it up.
Dude. And you see, they make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we have a simp
issue too. Yeah, men got to take some responsibility for that too. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, that's never going to end. And that's
just feeding it. Just put the credit card on it.
Oh,
it's like I don't even have to go to the strip club anymore. I can just pick up my phone and put in my credit card.
Yeah,
come on, guys.
Dude,
have some standards, fellas.
I couldn't imagine sending money to some girl showing her anus on the internet. Yeah, foot picture of all things.
Can you send me your panties in the mail, please?
We're talking about how Japan, we've had a friend who has visited, or we've had friends who have visited, and they talk about how clean it is. There's no trash cans because it brings in pigeons and rats and mice, and it's just clean. And then, of course, there's a certain jacket you can give young kids, and they can travel throughout the city. And if they're wearing a certain colored jacket, it means that the citizens will help.
It's very much about the collective and that they work together, and they teach that to them when they're really young. So in the schools, at the beginning of the year, this is what I heard, they give them like cleaning products, like a rag and, or whatever. And they keep that throughout the school year. And every day they all have their certain jobs, and they clean the classroom, the floors, the desks, everything. And the kids do that at school from the time they're, at school age. that could easily in one generation just change the society's mindset, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had some people the other night come sit by me and listen to some music, and they get up and they just left trash
Yeah.
everywhere. And I was thinking, like, why
Yeah.
would you do that? Where is this acceptable?
Yeah.
Very nice people, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like that's unacceptable. But you know what I was saying about Japan is that I don't know if it was just indoctrination or propaganda, but I had always heard that Japan had some, like you were talking about the send me your underwear in the mail. I'd heard that they had vending machines with worn underwear in it. So I always thought that they were,
right.
you know, I mean, that I guess
That
two things.
gives you that perception,
Yeah, that they were worse off than we are today. And,
right.
and that may be true in certain places. Maybe they have like a red light district where that is, but I can't imagine you would be,
Yeah.
you know, coming out of a convenience store or a grocery store, and then there's pre-worn underwear that you can buy out of a vending machine. And then all the other positive things that we've heard from people who actually went there.
Right.
So
Yeah.
was it,
As a whole, I would think it's very, very different than what we see here.
once again, it's just what we're told compared to how it actually
compared
is.
to what reality is. And just like, you know, we have friends that go there, or you meet meet people from there and really get to understand it's not the way you've perceived it.
Yeah. And like I said, I love the differences, but there are differences and then commonalities. And it seems like with certain nationalities that it just makes sense, and we click instantly, and we're fascinated with each other's cultures.
Right.
And then some of them, it's like, dude,
Curiosity, want to know.
you're taking a shit in the street and you're leaving your trash, and like there's a huge difference between what the positives that we can get from diversity than the ones that they're pushing on us.
Right. Yeah, and it shouldn't be taboo to say that, to call it out when it's just not beneficial to our values, our society,
Solving the world's problems.
Yeah. One at a time.